Do you know, it doesn't bother me being an all-round angler whether I use one of these bad boys, a 50 wide reel and a Cowstar tuna stick for big fish. It doesn't bother me at all, or whether I go and catch small fish in a river or a lake. But I suddenly got this craving to go stick float fishing on a river. But most of our rivers have been flooded for a long time. Indeed, there's more rain to come. It wouldn't get any more better. I thought I've got to take a shot. Now, there's two types of rivers. There are spate rivers, which come up and down in colour, or there are chalk stream rivers, chalk based, whereby the river comes up and down but does not colour. I thought, where can I go for a couple of hours fishing? Anyway, I grabbed the trusty old Avon rod, a 3-pound child's portion of maggots, and disappeared off to this river. Boy, was I glad I went. A short trip, but I caught some spanking fish. Well, it's taken a while to get a fish here, people. I've got something hooked up, and as you can see, I'm on the edge of the bank here. He's digging and digging down there. I don't know if you can see him. I don't know what it is yet. It's jumped out. Looks like a grayling. Looks like a nice grayling. Oh no, it's going to be a problem getting him in. He could bump off. I'm going to take a shot at it, guys. He's come off. Brown trout, small brown trout. And a tangle. Look at this one, boy. Not only do I lose a brown trout, guys, I get this as well. Look, nice tangle. That's not bad for the first go, is it? Eh? Sets you up for the day. Well, I'm down there on the river. I've got maggots. I had to go all the way to get some maggots. I've got sweet corn ground bait. It's way higher than I thought it would be. It's not actually higher. It's actually pushing more than I thought. A lot more swirly. The bank edge is out there, and I'd normally be standing there, there's all grass there. I'd be standing there fishing over the top. So I've got a cast over the top there. Urban fishing for grayling. A few loose maggots. I haven't bothered putting my polarising glasses on because I'm not going to see anything anyway. And I keep putting the float deeper and deeper after losing that brown trout. I just keep feeding. The wind is picking up because it's going to be bad weather all week, so if I can get a couple of fish out of this, I would be well pleased. That's all I'm looking for, just, you know, nice couple of grayling. I've had a couple of bumps before. It's just going through a little bit too fast, and if I hold it back and pull in my line in towards this bankside edge here, and thereby I might get snagged. I could have done with my match rod to give me an extra 3 feet, would have made a huge difference. And there you go, a bit late now. Because as I wind, I'm going to hold the rod out here like an amateur and try and get past, if you can see it out there, try and get past the outside margins. I'm fishing like 4 feet, more than 4 feet deep, which it can't be that deep out there surely. I think it's just the pace that's holding the current up. I don't want to put a lot of ground bait out there. I think the swirling current is holding the shot up. Oh, fish on this time. Okay. Oh, this is better. This is better. Oh, it's a grayling. It's a grayling. Come, please come out. You're probably going to ping off. I'm going to bring him over the rushes, take a gamble swing in it. Oh, he's come off as well. He's down there. I don't know if I can actually get him. I've actually got the grayling that I lost. There you are. I netted him. Well, I can show you one anyway. That was a stroke of luck, wasn't it? Really nice grayling. Got that black dot under their chin there, as they call them. as they call them, the lady of the stream with that big dorsal fin. I'll show you this one in case I don't get another one. That's a nice fish. Well pleased. And I can smell the cucumber smell on that as well. Of course the fish just works his way out through there. Well, I've got the blank out of the way. Short trip, it was a gamble. Hopefully it's going to pay off. I'm going to keep fishing. It's very, very dark and black and ominous up there. Big winds coming in tomorrow, more rain, and that'll put this right out. Right. You can't believe how one fish can turn your day around. That's all it takes to give you that confidence. I'm starting right at the top here, working my way down, so any food goes down, the fish might get used to it. I imagine not many people have fished this while it's been flooded, so they're not used to bait going in. The thing is, that last bite was more in the middle. Now, the first few trots I've been right down the margins here, but I see those swirls there. If I keep my head dead still, that's normally an indication of an obstruction underneath the surface, like weed. And bear in mind, I'd normally be standing right down there. In fact, I can see under the grass there's a little channel there where people walk down and fish from there. So I think I've got to go down the middle of the river, which seems where the most pace is, but that would be the original channel that I would have fished had the river been in its normal conditions, which it's not. So what I'm trying to say is I let my float run down there, is that what I think is the margins isn't really the margins, it's probably the bank itself. So I feel I'm not in the main flow of where grayling would lie, or even I missed one then, even a dace. I don't know if they get chub here. I might even be better slightly further over on that flow on that side. Can't really fish from the opposite bank. I could do, obviously, but no, that might be in weed. I'm very, very deep, and I'm not exactly what I would call tripping the bottom, just bumping along the bottom like this. I know it's so stupid with a float to feel the bottom, but float fishermen know what I'm talking about. You like to be able to have that bait in your mind, just tripping along the bottom. And because it's so pacey, I can't feel that. Now the problem you're going to get with maggots, when I'm feeding maggots, are these guys. That's minnows. Little chaps. They're a good bait for perch and small pike, even chub. But they're going to give you false bites all the way down. So hopefully they don't move in. But that's what you get when you feed minnows. That's what you get when you're feeding maggots, is in a river like this. If they've got minnows in them, sooner or later they're going to move in on the maggots. And that's what I don't really need happening. Trying to hold the float back so that the bait goes before the float, but it's very difficult in these heavy conditions, I'm going to call it. That could be a minnow again. It is indeed. You see, I knew before I wound it in, it's a minnow. That's going to give me trouble now. So I'm going to change the line of feed I've got, and I might even go to a slightly bigger bait. Let's feed a little bit on the inside and come in a bit closer. That would be my ideal area, just down about 5 feet out. Just so the minnows don't move in, because they can be an absolute pain. What you're doing, you see, is you're striking on a fish with a bite, getting a small fish, and that spooks all the bigger fish. Every time you strike, it's going to spook the bigger fish and put them off. You really want to strike and just hit into a decent fish. Grayling, dace, roach, that type of thing. Right, there's another fish. I think this one's a dace, boys. I'll swing it straight away. There we go. Is that a dace or is that a grayling? A small one. That is a wriggling small grayling. Piling through the ground bait, I think. The maggots are being eaten by the old dreaded you-know-what's, the minnows. So I'll try a bit of sweet corn. I'm not a great lover of sweet corn for grayling, I have to say. But it just sort of stops the maggots, and the other bait all getting eaten by the minnows. Other things, don't bring a hand wipe rag, it's too easy. Right, looks like different species. This one is an out of season brown trout, which can be an absolute pain. They're a lovely little fish. Oh look, that's a wild one. That's not stocked in these rivers. It's chalk stream like this, that's a wild fish. Goes straight back. There we go. Quite a pretty little one. That's 3 species: minnows, brown trout, out of season, and grayling. Hopefully I don't get pestered by these trout too much. They can be an absolute pain when you're after grayling, that's for sure. And they love double white maggots. What I tend to do is, there's maggots there, I tend to go for double whites first, and when the water's slower, I just visually think they can see the white maggot better. When it gets a bit slower, then I'll go to double reds. When the water's very clear, I find double red. I just pop that maggot over the eye of the hook and just leave it like that. Listen, the water's going through so fast here, they're not going to see it wriggle. They're just not going to see the maggot wriggle. It's gone. It goes straight through. That last trout was pretty well over in the fast water there. I think I'd done another bite and bumped another one. Not the best bank to fish from, this one. And the wind is picking up, but it's getting very, very swirly, and that can throw my float up a tree or branch and overhang. I've always said in the winter that you can't see the leaves, so you can't actually see the end of the branches as well as you would do in the summer. And I want to be on the edge of the fast water, really, a little bit further in than that, I would guess. That was a bite there. Channels down there goes really fast. Probably a good spot for grayling below that. And you'd think just on the inside here would be good for roach, a bit slower, but it's really whistling through fast. Goodness me, they'd have to be bionic to catch that. I'm getting literally, I'm going to count this through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 seconds in the swim before it goes through, which is not a great deal at that pace for a fish to be able to see the bait. This is a better fish, people. This is a better fish. I'm going to play this one properly. I've no idea what it is, but it's a good fish. Let's get down a bit. Oh man, I hope it's not a big grayling. It looks awfully light. What is that? Oh my god. This could be grayling for about 5 years. I kid you not, people. This is, for me and on this stretch of river, very, very good grayling. Come on. We got it, we got it, we got it. Let me show you this one. Oh, that's worth the trip alone. That is worth the trip alone. Goodness me. That is, check that one out, people. That is a really, really nice fish. Big old dorsal fin there. Very big dorsal fin, lovely. I'll just get about one hold on that, I'll get him straight back, look. There you go, that's a good fish. That one there. Fish of the day. Good. Well, would never have put that grayling coming down, it's in that fast water. So I'm going to sop up some bread now. I've got here just a load of mush that's been in my freezer because I don't throw any ground bait away. So I'm having a bit of a freezer clear out. It's on a fast river like this, everything gets washed down fast. Sprinkle a few live ones in there as well. Somewhere in here I had, oh there we go, bit of mushed up bread. Once it's wet it'll soak up. It's been in the freezer as well, this bread. Used it carp fishing and then brought it back, so absolutely anything can go in. You're going to eat the lot. That one's a bit hard, I want it soaking again. Right, that was a super fish. Going to get a bit of water in here. Even got a couple of sprats there because I was going to go down a local canal. Guys, an excellent chance of going in the water here. Oh. Put the whole loaf in. Get it nice and wet. Once you got it all mulched up like that, it's pretty well damp, just drain off the surplus. Just like a sponge. It's really good for chub in the winter. We call it stodge, that and a bit of ground bait. There. Let that soak. And that, if I show you down here, will sink a lot faster. Right, let's get back fishing. I'm on again, people. I was putting that bread in, straight in. Another grayling. Here he comes. Wow, this is another good fish. Look at this one. They're very, very twisty and writhy. These are not going to keep them out of water long. Another really, really nice looking fish. And there's his fin. He's doing really well holding still for me. And you can bump quite a lot of grayling off because they got this underslung mouth like that, just pinged out. That pinged out there. Then there's a fish. Whoa, I nearly went in then. And there he goes. You can see my frozen stuff has not been wasted from a previous fishing trip. A handful of this upstream. I'm sure the fact I've been up there 200 yards, all my bait's been coming down there anyway, but I'm not going to claim to be any expert. I am okay reading swims. I would not have put that far stretch there as being a spot where a grayling would be. Maybe a trout, but certainly not grayling on that fast. Am I complaining? No. That's bizarre. Two big grayling right where the current almost speeds up, to be honest. Channels down narrow there, so below that would be a good spot because all the food's going to get funneled down there. I could well do without this gusty wind because I feel I'm going to go up a tree in a minute. And that's about where I was getting the bites there. Oh, I missed that one. Where is he? Where is he? Smith's here somewhere. Made me miss that fish. Come on, let's have one to camera. You can see by baiting up regularly, and I'm certainly not feeding regularly, I haven't got that much bait, how fast it goes down through the river. In fact, it's just zooming down all the time feed. You cannot really overfeed a river that's fast flowing coming off of flood conditions like this because it's just going and going and going all the time. That's another size grayling. This is a big grayling. It's a grayling. Grayling? Yeah. I think there's only a couple of swims I know of down on this stretch. There's a bite then. It might be getting a bit spooky now. I've actually had a few fish out there. That's the spot. Another bite there. Another bite there. Yeah, there's fish still there, but they're bumping it now. I've actually put the float a little bit deeper, thinking I might be able to get a better fish, you know, off the bottom. I like to have that float going at a nice even pace, bumping the bottom. I might be on the bottom, but I have the feeling they're bites. Well, I've come downstream and I'm fishing a wide open stretch now. You can see the pace is much more even there. And literally, first run down, I've picked a fish up. There we go. It's just a small one, but listen, the change in that current pace makes a difference. I feel like I'm not deep enough, people. It's a risk because there's trees here. Those trees would have had bits dropping off them, so the chances are I could snag on the bottom. I feel not deep enough. That's a bit of run through just inside the branches there. Still pretty pacey, no bites off this one though. Float's laying back an angle, so there must be some form of undercurrent there. It's pushing the bait up and keeping the shot up. Nothing. I've tried just along the inside here. Nothing, so I'm going to try it a bit further over on the far bank. Sort of swirls that you get here might be holding the float up. Although it looks nice and smooth and dark, it's actually whipping through there pretty quickly. Oh, I'm on again. I've come back to the original swim. And third trot down, I've got decent fish here. Really good session. I've had some more grayling, small ones. And this is, in he goes, another brownie. So, really good session, considering the conditions. There he is. Lovely golden marks on him there. Let's get him straight back. Just having the last few casts here, guys. I've got some sprats. I'm tempted to go upstream and just have a throw with a sprat in case there is a pike there, because the water clarity is good. It's just pushing very, very fast. It's not anywhere that I can see that I would think it'd be too pike areas, maybe here, but very, very close to the margins. On the other hand, when we're still catching fish and getting bites, very difficult to pack up and go pike fishing in the last half an hour. It's now coming up to 4 o'clock, so we're going to lose the light in a minute. Well, there you go. That was a hunch that paid off. As I say, just had that gut feeling that told me, get the stick float out, get the Avon rod out, get yourself some bait. I cleared my freezer out as well, some old rubbish bait. And then just give it a go. That's all you can do, guys. Get out there and try. Now, I am no tackle tart. Yeah, I know you guys are going, yeah, don't worry, Graham. We know that for sure. I just like using second-hand stuff. New stuff's okay, but the old stuff still catches, and sometimes it's made better. Well, I had one of our awesome army supporters contact me, sent me a text, said, I've got some stuff I want to get rid of, Graham. You might as well use it. I won't use it at all. Well, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? I think you guys find it interesting as well. Well, I was going to do this little piece of camera work out in the tackle shack, but it has been a howling storm, so I figured, do you know what? I'm going to just do it in the office. It's easier because I've got obviously the camera lights and stuff in here rather than lug them all the way out there and they get rained on. Anyway, we have a totally awesome supporter. Richard the Plasterer, I'm calling him Richard the Plasterer from Guildford. He once donated us some lead flashing he had from a roof job to help us. He just said he wanted to support the cause, the totally awesome cause. I said, sure, I'll take all the lead flashing you want and make some lead weights from it, which I did. And he gave me a tip off about making a wooden lead mould. You probably thought I forgot about it, but I didn't. I actually did it. The film is up, making fishing weights out of a piece of cherry wood and making it into a mould. It works. I'm still using the leads. Anyway, he said, look, I've got some sea gear. I don't use it anymore. Can you make use of it? There are some lead weights in there. Oh, okay, I thought. And then with the storm, I thought I'm going to pop over and pick the stuff up and just see where it goes from there. Some stuff I can use, obviously, seeing the state of my gear, Can it get any worse? Wow, I mean, Richard donated us some really cool stuff. Put the old binoculars on and I'll show you what we've got, people. Quite nice indeed. Right, first is a rod. It is extremely pokey. You would catch a shark on this one for sure. I'll tell you what it's called. So it's not promoting it, it's just a brand one. It's called Masterline, so that's Ryobi, and I use those old Avon rods, you know, that I use for freshwater fishing, the Avon and quiver tip combo rods. This one's called a Ideal XL. It says XL 6620. £20. I cannot see any way in the world this is rated as £20 class. I would suggest that is probably 50 easy, but it will take a shot. We'll see if we can get out. Going to clean the winch fitting up. I think this comes off and leaves a gimbal. Let's have a look. Maybe not. No, it doesn't. Sometimes these pop off and get a gimbal. I can't get it off. It's probably stuck on there, just there. So that one's going to get used. Nice bit of varnish on that one. Pokey, they're very pokey. Then he said, well, I don't use this one either. You might as well have that. Okay, it's an uptider. Now I have got a couple of uptiders, but I broke the tip on one, and I tried splicing it together and didn't make a particularly good job of that. Was a lashing. Funny enough, that's an old Ryobi one, but it's just glass. Well, he's given me this one, which is screw winch fit in there. Really nice, fancy, got all those diamond wrap butt whipping there. The rod itself is really nice. It's a pen, nice uptied one. So I've been doing some uptied down Somerset, as you know. I've got a nice Coniflex Integra, which is sort of similar to this with two tips. I think a 4 ounce and a 6/8 ounce. But this one, I'll turn it around without knocking anything down. As you can see there, nice rings on it. This one would definitely catch some fish, I can tell you. It's called a Pen Power Sticks, STIX, but uptied 9'6", so quite long. I can also use it off the beach or conger fishing off the shore. But it throws 4 to 10 ounces. Oh, now that's pretty handy, isn't it, when you've got a nice big grip lead. So that one goes together like this. And that, you won't see it, its rods are notoriously difficult to film. That's going to be good. It's got nice rings to it. And you will see this, Richard. This one will be out in the boat, hopefully. You'll see with some fish on that. Now, what he did have, he said, I've got a box of bits and bobs I don't use. A box of bits and bobs. Whatever. It is a flambeau here, tackle box. And you guys keep saying, we want to see what's in your tackle box, Graeme. No, you don't want to see what's in my tackle box. It's a mess. I just use an old Rubbermaid cooler type box and chuck it all in one big heap. And Wayne will tell you it takes me 5 minutes to even find a set of mackerel feathers, let untangle them, you know what it's like. This thing could work really well. Yes, look, I'm going to show you the top. Yeah, he got all rusty hook marks on there. It's been in his garage for a while, for sure. He said he doesn't use it. All interlocking, flambeau outdoors. So for those of you who know, it's like American, Canadian, they have really pretty good tackle boxes. But I want you guys to go through this with me and we'll have a look and see what's in here. And then I'm going to try and renovate it, clean it all up. And this might be the new one because it's hard seat. If I don't, I could put a piece of cushion on that. I could sit on that, so on Wayne's boat or my boat. Well, my boat's got seats, so it's mostly going to go with Wayne. And it could be really, really handy. What is handy is what's inside. I'm going to alter this camera angle so you can watch me go through it. Now this is really heavy, so I'm just going to dump my coat on there because otherwise it will mark the pool table. Hopefully you guys will see this. I might change the camera angles. So it's got, I'll just show you there, nice big handle. It's got boxes here, look, they pop open. I'm going to try and wash all these out. And if you have stuff like this, I find you can get a scour, you can clean it all off. And then if you bleach it with like toilet bleach, strong bleach, leave it all over it, paint it on with a paintbrush. The next morning, you rinse it all off. Generally, it'll bring this up. So we're going to try this. This is a project, guys. It's got, in that side, look, multitude of small, and I guess they can be, yeah, they can come out. Look, see these little sliding things? Partitions, they come out as well. Same thing on the other side. Let's turn it round like this. Now, nice little clip there. The top opens up, and oh my word, I'm going to have to bring that camera up a bit. So Richard said, well, you collect old tackle, don't you? Which I do, I like to keep it. And I thought, oh, this might go, he said, like in a tackle shack. I thought, yeah, it's a starback, what we call a starback reel. No, he said, it's called a frogback, I think he said it was. There is the pattern on it. So all you old tackle antique connoisseurs, I don't mean the people who are antiques, obviously. The connoisseurs who specialise in antique tackle, is this called a frogback, which I can see like splat, 4 legs of a frog, I guess. But that is a nice piece. I'm going to polish that all up. It spins well too, look. So that's good. I think he said it needs 1 screw on the line guard here. It's all brass. There is a name on it, I think. Let's have a check. It says just in there, Millwoods, England. So brilliant. That will probably find its way into the tackle shack. A nice old frogback. And I don't actually know the era of these. Edwardian, would you say 1900s, guys? Experts out there tell us. Frogback reel, how old? Then, because he had the uptider and the, I'm going to call it the shark rod, a dead handy, this is a Penn, let me check it. It's a Penn 525 multiplying reel. It's got a good big handle on it. Now, I probably think to use that, I'm going to say pollock fishing. If I go out with Wayne bassing or pollock fishing or something like that, I probably wouldn't use it for light shark fishing. I would definitely use it with that up-tiding rod. That is perfect up-tiding rod. Got a little damper, I guess, just here that can be adjusted. Ratchet there. Ooh, I reckon we could get that squawking, guys. So that's a nice Penn. And he's got a top shot or shock leader on there with some braid underneath. And because he said he hasn't used it for yonks, I'll peel off this mono and then retie the knot. I think there's nothing wrong with that shock leader myself, but I can always put another top shot or shock leader on there. And that will appear, hopefully, in the boat. And I might even have a go off the beach with that. But you can crank on a big conger or something like that off the shore. So that was nice. His larger one here is the same, nylon over braid. He said the braid should all be good. All running, it's not seized up. It's not seized up. I could put that straight on the rod and use that straight away. That one is again a Penn. Still got the box here. A Penn 535 GS. High performance reel. 1-piece graphite, dual casting controls, stainless ball bearings, blah blah. Gear ratio 6.1 to 1. Now that's nice and high. That's nice and high. Got a little bit corrosion on the inside there. No problem. That will probably clean off with something like brass or. So brilliant. So I've got 2 rods and reels there. And funnily enough, I had an old Daiwa fixed spool I used to use a lot, and that has expired and is in the bin. Still got the bits and bobs in there, and I think these are the locking brackets that go on the back of the rod, you know, to hold the reel in place. I might not use it for that. These are, if anybody's not seen these before, he's just threw these in anyway, called a capelan, I think it is, a capelan. They're like a good pike lure, pollock lure. Now, Richard likes his pike fishing very much, and he said he's doing well with these. And he said, I bought a few. Well, I'm telling you, when he said he bought a few, I think he bought 80 pounds worth of these things. He's got a bait box full of them. They do get nipped on the tail, he said, now and then, but they are perfect bite size for pike. I think on the River Way he goes, or the Thames. So I'm going to try those 2 for pike fishing. So they've got to actually come out of here. I've got quite a few sea lures, but I'm going to keep those for pike fishing. And I like red and white colour. I like that red and white slash colour there. Spare little tackle box which can stay in there. Hooks, swivels, stuff like that. This one is £50 mono. Whatever's left on there, look, it's been used. Whatever's left on there, I will use. This one, really, really good. It was 100 metres of £150 mono. We call these skeins. I don't know what they call them in the real world, but fishermen call them skeins. But that will get used as well. Odd set of feathers there, I can always sort those out later. Because he's done a bit of fly fishing as well. He had a couple of spools here. And I just literally, as you know, last couple of trips I've been doing really well on the trout. Brown trout, rainbow trout, cheetah trout. You might not have seen the film on that yet, but cheetah trout. £6 or £5. And that is called subsurface green fly leader. So that will get used. Look, a cable tie. That would do for anchor work. But inside here, I'm going to drop that down a bit. Hang on a second, people. Down we come. I just thought you guys would be interested. Everybody likes going through tackle boxes, don't they? Look. Then it pops down here. Just like this. These are rusted out a little bit, got rust stain on them, but I'll clean up. Listen, donation's a donation. 2 tackle boxes in here. Here we go. Take one out. I'm going to close that up. Put it there. Let's change the camera angle for you. We'll see what goodies lie therein. Oh my word. That's just what I need. I went out with Wayne. We had really good fishing offshore. These are Bo Peter. That's a 1 on there. So I guess that's a £1. These are the lead weights that I was going to make if Richard had any more spare lead. So that is absolutely ideal. Perfect size. I lost about 5-6 leads in the bottom, and that was through a weak link on the actual boom itself. If you look back, Tomo on the Lorna Doone boat a few films ago mentioned about weak links with big leads. Get yourself a decent boom. These, very good for drifting and going across sand, and just a little bit of grip there. See the little bit of grip on those leads? Watch leads, I think we used to call those. They got little dimples around them which actually drag in the sand a bit, so they will get used. These 100% might be a tad light for my beach fishing, for my uptiding. Certainly, you know, if I'm going down, but the same mould. It's a DCA mould. I've exactly the same mould. So I've got 1, 2, 3 nice weights down, and I will now feel an awful lot better losing, if that makes sense. This looks like a Toby. That looks like the old Abu Toby. He says, looking, yeah, Toby. That's an old Toby lure. Rusty hook. I can change that. I can change the split ring. Nice filleting knife. A Storm filleting knife. That knows, I think my tripods, beach tripods, are made by Storm. A couple more beach lead. Look, there's nothing. You can never have enough leads, can you, people? But these ones are nose wired leads, fixed. So what you do is you can bend these round at whatever angle you want, like this. And then like that, you can make whatever shape you want. You can make them as strong as you want. But they're handy when they're folded back like this in the tackle box. So brilliant, Richard. Just what I needed. He's already got some nice hooks there. Real meaty hooks. In fact, I had some that were called a meat hook, and they look very, very similar. And that looks like he's put those on, ready for tope, conger, whatever, you know, on that 150. And then here, we've got a few of these swivels. Just been doing a pike film, but these are very slightly better. I don't like the ones with the straight bit in. I like that little curl off bit there. So when you put your lead on like this, if you drop your lead on, this tag end is sitting outside there. I actually like that a little bit stronger rather than just, I have seen some that's just a straight piece of wire and they can open up. I don't want to lose any more lead, so the swivels will get used as well. Plenty of hooks in there, so that's that tray. It's exciting, isn't it? We haven't got to the other box yet. Just stuff that will get used. I feel by the weight of this there are some more leads in there. Indeed there are. There we go, tray number 2. OMG, look at these. These are just the size I need for fishing off the Isle of Wight. Big leads. It's had those a few years. Look, 95 pence. I think they cost more than 95 pence now. And that size. Giant one. So great boat leads. Another big nose wired uptiding lead there. Wouldn't use that one off the beach. It's uptiding one. Spool of, what's that, 20? So that's ideal trace for things like black bream, bits and pieces like that, small fish. Another one there. Never heard of the mate Pisces. That's a piece of braid. It says there, memory-free hook lengths. That's interesting. So leftover bit, so oh, that's an empty spool. I even save empty spools. Put bits of line on. Nice one there. Dyna braid. It says there, copolymer mono. What strain is that? £20. That will get used for traces as well. And then down in here, loads of these. They're like a meat. I think Cox and All used to do like a meat hook. I don't know what these ones are called, but these are really, really good, strong hooks. To be honest, I mean this one here, I'd have no problem putting that on wire and using that for a blue shark. That one. Used to use giant hooks, and obviously now you don't need them at all. A ton of these swivels. Nice load of these swivels. Brilliant. A few more hooks. Not many small hooks. Few small hooks. So Richard was after big stuff, obviously. These are like place hooks. And to go with that, I'm going to move this up here so I can show you. 16,500 beads, because he told me he used to do place fishing and he uses those for blinging up his place rigs. So there you go, guys. That's what I call a goodie box of tackle. Thank you very much to Richard, and I am now going to take all this tackle out, lay it all over the pool table. I'm going to see if I can clean this up, and then, no, you don't really want to see through my tackle box, do you? It's a load of rubbish. Catches fish okay though. I'm going to get this all cleaned up, and I'm going to see if I can clean this nice box, this flambeau box up. So thank you. And I've got another guy who's sending me, I think he's sending me a Bruce and Walker fly rod. I think it's about an 8 to 9, so that sounds like a reservoir fly rod, trout fly rod. He said, I'm not using it. If you want to use it, Graeme, I'll send it to you. You use it. I just want to see it being used. So great. Appreciate that, Richard. Thank you very much. I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'll show you guys if it does scrub up. If it doesn't, I'm still going to use it. But I just think bleach is going to clean this one. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got quite a lot of tackle to get through, to lose, if you like, there. And how did it come up? I know you guys want to know how the box came up. I'll tell you how the box came up, boys. Scrubbed, cleaned. Look at that. Now, you're never going to get rid of some of the stain marks, but I think that's pretty good for a second-hand box that Richard's probably had in his garage for some time. You never get rid of those hook stain marks in there. I suppose you could paint them if you wanted, but paint generally peels off like plastic. That's come up really well, people. So all that remains for me now is to, oh, how am I going to do it? I've got to clean my old tackle box out. It's been a friend for years. All it is just a Rubbermaid box that I throw everything in like a sort of mobile dustbin. So there you go. Thanks to Richard for the bit donating those bits of tackle. They will get used, and undoubtedly a lot of that terminal gear will get lost. We'll see you guys in the next episode we have. Don't ask me what's in there. I don't know myself half the time. I've got probably 30 films to juggle around with there. And of course, I'm going to be getting out again. Hit the subscribe button on both channels, TA Fishing and TA Outdoors. We'll see you guys again next time, and hopefully some more interesting fishy stuff for you.